If you're a AI agency selling AI automation to larger corporation and government, then this video is going to be a gem. This is going to be very valuable to you since we've been running campaigns on Meta ads through a methodology we're calling microtesting, which I'm going to explain to you in a second. But essentially what we've done is we've tested all the different headlines that we then used for these ads that we would put out for our client. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you the top winners, the 5 winners, the headlines that you can use for your copy, and also the losers and why they actually ended up losing, because there's some really interesting information when you dig deeper. Most people super underestimate the impact of right copy. Titles is a big one. And so let me first explain what microtesting actually is so that you can see how that can help you grow your business. Okay, so microtesting is essentially the process of reverse engineering winning ads. So what we do basically, we test all the different elements of an ad, right? So you can see here at the bottom, this is one of our results sheets here. I'm going to go into the numbers in a moment, but here you can see we start with a problem test. Then we continue to headline. Each sprint covers one specific variable, right? So we don't do it all at once because that's a problem. When you go now online, there's a lot of tools out there, especially the AI space, where you can create ads in one click, which can work, right? So you can actually do this, can actually work. But the problem with that is you don't really know what element of the ad is actually getting you the results. So if you want to fine tune your campaigns, and if you're actually a company that is not just a one solopreneur business, you want to know what's actually driving you the revenue, right? So we need to test from problem statements and pain points to headlines to the transformation test. This is all about lead magnets, how you present your lead magnets. We use the data of images and creatives. We test all individually, which is why this is a huge, big deal, right? So we actually have to test each. And then once we have all the data, then we combine and then we put together ads and conversion ads that then generate those high-ticket appointments that we all want. Now, what's the particular situation here for these AI agencies that target these larger companies? The problem with large companies and government agencies is that they have spent a ton of money into infrastructure, often these old legacy systems. And in this case, SprinkleNet, our client, well, to target these people, you need to understand that their headache, the biggest headache, is this reliance of these old systems, but they need to be modernized, talk to this newer AI system, which is a huge headache because I need to do this without disruption, right? So this is where my client is specializing on. And so what we do here, essentially, you can see here, basically isolating everything else. We just run the headlines, right? And then we to the right target audience on Meta ads. This can be done in a way without, well, all the other platforms are also suitable, but Meta ads is just the biggest database. It has the greatest ability to fine tune audiences. And so it's also cost related. And so we basically ran these different headlines through this campaign. And so what we do next is we run 400 impressions and then we measure CTR and CPC, right? So we want to obviously have a CTR as high as possible and CPC as low as possible. So in order for us to qualify a headline, it needs to have over 1.5%. For context, on Meta ads, 1%, 1.5% is average. Okay, so if you have an ad that performs over 2%, you're already way above average. And for cost per click to be profitable, we need to have it under 50 cents. So you can see here there's huge differences. 0.70, right? 0.70 here CTR versus 5%. So we've put together this spreadsheet so that we can see the differences. You see all of those, they didn't pass either because of the cost per click or because they didn't get the CTR we were looking for. But they were also big winners. So I want to show you the biggest lessons here. First of all, you can get all of that on our newsletter, right? Each week we publish the results of one specific target audience and one test. So we do problem statement tests, we do headline tests, we do image tests, creatives, we do lead magnet tests and all of that. If you're an agency owner or if you're just an entrepreneur, then you can dive here into our library we're building up with different tests for different ICPs. with real data that you can just repurpose and use. So, and this particular, as I already said, is U.S. federal department and AI team, like bigger companies. And so we've run the 5 winning headlines, and we've also the 5 losers. Well, let's start with the losers. So what didn't win? What didn't win is these here. You see at the bottom here, all of these. They were just not good enough. And so when you, for example, this is a kind of a surprise because can't touch AI until it's GSA approved. We've got you covered. GSA is this government certification. So one might assume, okay, you need to have these accolades, you need to have these certifications, but they didn't really care. These people, these high-ranking managers and decision makers, they wouldn't really care about that. And so those were all bad titles and headlines. Drowning in projects. Here's how leading agencies are automating with AI. From risk to results. AI launch without regret. How to launch AI project without risking your reputation. Not a thing at all. Simplify AI role prioritization. Like the agencies that scored real results, nothing of that is really working here. But the ones that really worked were focusing on ROI, because humans keep being humans, right? So we all look for ROI. The secret to showing real ROI on your agency's AI investments. Move from AI mission to real measurable results without risking another $1 million flop. So that is a real pain point here for those that have these make decisions in executive positions. That's what a pain point. They don't want to spend a lot of money. They want to be responsible for a flop, a bad investment, and then not getting anything in return, right? That is a real pain point. You can see the stop waiting for the perfect time to start AI, learn how to begin now with zero bloat. Finally, how to get measurable AI wins without disrupting your operations. That's what I mentioned at the beginning. Those big companies have this headache, right? They don't want to spend 10 years for a license ERP system and then to tear everything down just to replace it with a new system. So that's really not a thing. So you need to do this in a way that's not disruptive. So those are all good headlines. You can all pick them from the newsletter here. If you subscribe to the newsletter, it's in the description. Every episode, every video is going to have winning tests that you can just use and copy, right? Here we go. Finally, those are the winning 5. Those are all tested, all 400 impressions, all with measurable results. So that is what we do. And that's pretty much it for today. If you have an agency you want to test yourself, like a business concept, you want to test your problem statements, we can do that for you. You can also click below. There's a link. We run a free test for you. Sometimes we run these tests also as a lead magnet. So we help people, we sort of remove the risk for our clients, and we tell, okay, here's a free 48-hour micro test for you. Let us show you what we can do. And then at the end of this, if you want to continue, then we offer our done for you service where we build the whole funnel. If you're unsure on what to use, what copy to use, what business idea is going to work and move forward and which one doesn't, then you can click here and we're going to run a free 48-hour micro test for you. And that's pretty much it. Okay, guys? So thank you for tuning in today, and I'm going to be publishing continuously these tests. Next week, in next edition, we're going to have a test of problem statements and pain points that you can use, which is foundational, because if you build a marketing strategy on top of a problem that's not really a real one, then it doesn't matter how good your copy is down the road, how good your creatives are, your images, or whatever you're going to do with headlines, doesn't matter. If the problem is not the right one, the pain point is not the one that really hurts, nothing else matters. So pain points and problem statements are really interesting, and we're going to pick for a specific ICP that I'm going to reveal in the next episode. So subscribe for more of these tests, so you can copy, use, and win, make more money, more profit. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye-bye.